Britain's tallest building has opened here in London today. It's called the Shard, and at 310 meters tall, it is Europe's tallest building. The building will eventually house a mixture of offices, restaurants, and a luxury hotel, as well as some very exclusive penthouses. Well, pretty impressive. Well, Africa, in fact, may soon be home to a skyscraper that will be even taller than the Shard. Here is an artist's impression of the Centurion Symbio project planned for Tshwane in South Africa, courtesy of 126 Architects. When it's completed, it will stand at 447 meters and will have over 100 floors. That is even taller than the iconic Empire State Building in New York. Well, is upwards the future for construction in Africa? Well, that's what we want to talk about. Joining me in the studio is Spider Shlamelo, who's the director of Vavaki Architects. It's great to have you in the studio. Are you, first of all, a fan of this upward urbanization that is occurring in many places across Africa?
I think tall buildings have their place, but I don't think they're the solution to urbanization in Africa. Certainly, they can come across as a catalyst for development, a catalyst for regeneration in places where there's already high density development and there's nowhere else to build. In terms of Africa, I think we have an opportunity to do something different. Certainly a tall building could be a marker. A tall building could certainly be a symbol, like what the Burj Khalifa and the Burj Dubai have done for Dubai. Anybody sees one of those buildings, we know that's Dubai. Like what the Petronas Towers have done for Malaysia. Anybody sees one of those buildings, we know where it is. But I think in Africa we've got an opportunity for something slightly different.
What different?
Vertical cities have got a complexity in themselves in trying to make them work in terms of the infrastructure, the energy that they use, and the economics of building tall. Tall buildings are not something new in Africa. Since the 70s we've had tall buildings. At present, building in South Africa is already 223 meters tall. But in Africa, I think there's an opportunity to do urban planning in a different way. In learning from lessons from the West, lessons from East certainly, in China and in the Middle East, and seeing how master planning and urban planning can bring Africa's urbanization to a much
But who should be driving the agenda? Because a lot of this is based on private investment. Should it be the government getting involved and saying this is the way we want to plan our cities, or should the governments back off and allow private investors to dictate the pace?
I think it should be a collaboration. I think governments should take the lead. Certainly, the problem we have in Africa at the moment is infrastructure. Our infrastructure is struggling. At the present moment, statistics say there's over 300 million Africans in urban cities.
Yes.
By 2030, that is forecast to rise by 3 times that. Now, our infrastructure in Africa is not going to be able to support that unless we put in place, or governments put in place, an infrastructure that can support that with private investment.
Do you have a favorite building, very quickly? Favorite building in Africa?
I do. I did say Absa Bank in South Africa, but I think it's actually Eastgate Shopping Centre in Zimbabwe, which is modeled on an anthill. On an anthill? On an anthill, and it's a modern shopping centre.
It's great to have you in the studio. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Kamla.
And very quickly, we asked you on Facebook if you have a favorite building in your city, and here's what you had to say. Felix Rotich from Kenya says the KICC building, that's the International Conference Center, the Jomo Kenyatta Conference Center, is what defines Kenya. I think it defines Nairobi quite a bit, and it's like Kenya itself. He says. Gideon Owusu sends us a message and says, Owusu Ansa, I should say, says the EcoBank building in Bantama, which is a suburb of Kumasi. You know that well. Chippy Ray in Karonde says, I love Kangombe House in Lilongwe City in Malawi. And Haji Mustafa loves the Times Tower in Nairobi. Nairobi, great city. And we'll talk about that another time. That's all for Focus on Africa from me, Komla Dumont, and the rest of the team. Thank you for watching.